CharMargolis, Char Communications Incorporated, and CharVision LLC do not endorse or offer for any purpose but entertainment the views of any guest or other expert on CharVision or UBN.
I knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is CharVision. Hello, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and today is, what is today? It's Friday, February 19th. And I'm putting Sunny down. He wants to get down. Say bye, everybody. So the Perseverance rover has landed on Mars. And what's so crazy about this show tonight is that my friend Craig Campobasso sent an email saying his new book is out. And so he said, he gave me a date. And every time I don't see Craig that much, but every time I do something with him, there's synchronicity. It's like more than coincidence. I can't even explain it. It's like the powers that be bring us something that's much more than coincidence. So Craig, thank you so much for being here. You're an award-winning movie person.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
You have, right?
Yes, all kinds of stuff.
That's so amazing. But your new book, Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, is out now? Is it out now?
It is out now. It came out on January 1st, and it was on pre-order on Amazon for about 6 months.
Wow.
So it's doing really, really well. And for the whole first month, it was #1 on the new release list on Amazon under UFOs and a few other categories as well. And
That's
it stayed there
amazing.
for the whole month. Yeah. So right now it's fluctuating between 5, 8, and 9 on the bestseller list.
UFOs.
On Amazon, that's
okay.
amazing.
That's not heard of. That's crazy.
Right. Under the title of UFOs.
I get it.
But that's pretty amazing.
Still amazing.
Yeah.
It's still truly amazing.
Yeah.
So you say that there's 82 extraterrestrial species. Try to say that 10 times.
Say that 10 times fast. Right. Right. Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot more than 82, but I had to pick a number, and I picked the number because I was listening to Paul Hellyer, who was the former Canadian Minister of Defense, who said that he knew of 82 races that had either visited or are visiting Earth. So I said, I'll pick that number for the almanac because I had to have a certain number of pages that also corresponded with all the artwork, and on top of about 4 or 5 photographs of extraterrestrials.
Okay, so where did you get those photographs?
Well, two of the photographs are from a case that's in Italy. And these are beings called clarions. They're a human race, and they've been actually living here on Earth for quite some time. And the gentleman who wrote the book about them is in constant contact with them, and he took photographs. So there are 2 photographs. He has several photographs of different beings. Here's one in color. This is
wow,
Nelfa. She deals.
Beautiful.
Isn't she stunning? Look at that, right?
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I wanted to show the picture because you only get them in black and white in the book. So she deals with astrobiology and chronoastronomy. So basically, she She does all the measurements between the dimensions because they travel interdimensionally. They go into other dimensions, et cetera, et cetera.
You know where she's from? Is she from a planet or?
Yeah, Clarion, planet Clarion. There's been several people on Earth. There was also a woman named Elizabeth Clarer, who was a starseed from Clarion, and her husband, then when she became an adult, came here and had contact with her. They reunited. She became pregnant. He brought her back to Clarion for a certain period of time so she could have the baby. And then the baby had to live there because of the characteristics of how the planet is. A baby wouldn't have survived here. And then they brought her back, and then she died. A very old lady. But there are some wonderful things. So the whole book is filled with, because you know me, I've been into this for a very long time, and I've done lots of research for over 35 years. So I know of all of these contactee cases, and I got permission to use it from the actual contactees or their publishers to put all of these cases into a book so that people can go and learn about them. And I give a thumbnail review. And that thumbnail review is just we do their universal origin, physical characteristics, belief system, cosmic agenda, technology, consciousness abilities, and dimensional capacity. So, and then I did artwork for everything, so everyone knows also what they look like. And in the case of the real photographs, I was able to put them in there, including one that I took myself of an extraterrestrial while I was going on an abduction case and learning about the case, and was snapping pictures. And it was of an interdimensional being because we could not see it. When the person who was abducted was showing me in his backyard in the Carolinas, it's forest in the backyard. And he said when they had come, him and his son had come back and from the abduction, they hightailed it home. And as they parked the truck in the backyard and then were hurrying them, the extraterrestrials were actually walking out of the forest.
Do you have a photo of
their house? It's in the book. I don't have it.
Oh, we gotta get the book.
Yeah. I sent you a book. Where's your book? I mailed you a book. You should have gotten one.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm in Palm Springs, so I don't know.
Oh, so it's whatever address you gave me. So.
Well, I gave you Palm Springs. I didn't get it.
Oh, I did. You didn't get it?
No, I didn't get it, and I'm so sorry because
You're gonna have to come back.
You're gonna have to come back again after.
And we'll do it. We'll do it.
Can we show the trailer?
Yeah, show the book trailer. Yeah.
Show the book trailer for us, because there's photos in there. You guys.
There is. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Good. Is there no sound, Tony? It really wants to make me want to read that book.
Right? Isn't that
Yeah,
great? Yeah, I had a buddy of mine who's a post-production supervisor over at Sony put that together for me.
he did a beautiful
Oh
job.
man, it's an amazing job.
Now, I always talk about how the world runs like a battery. There's always a positive and negative charge, and I know it's the same in the extraterrestrial world. So, which ones are the good ones, and which ones are the not so good ones?
Well, the good news is that there's a whole lot of really good ones that are
But
benevolent. There's also some that follow um, uh, into that fall into the a neutral category where they're not good or bad. They sort of tend to themselves and will interact with other races as well. But then when we start getting into the hybrid classifications and things of that nature is when we start to see how things are done in a positive and negative sense. So, for instance, the bad grays or the reptilians
mm-hmm.
who are doing a hybrid program, it goes way back to they can circumvent universal law
Mm-hmm.
by coming here and promising leaders
Mm-hmm.
the advanced technology in exchange for abducting people, which they tell them they're just going to study them and they'll put them back. Now this is more of the under I don't know how to say it, but more like street people or
Okay.
things of that nature is sort of what it was. But then um, over the years, when they found down saucers and things like that, they actually started finding animal and human body parts in them.
Oh.
So, so we don't know. There's just lots of speculation about what they do, but some are creating hybrid races to enforce their sort of regime in the
Mm-hmm.
negative aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might have the Zeta humans, which look like grays, but more not as ugly or as dark as they are within.
Mm-hmm.
Is they may come here and decide, okay, we want to study the earth. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to come there for 1,000 years. And one of the ways that they can do that is they will therefore ask people from their race or in the society that's up there who are already star seeds if
Mm-hmm.
they can use their genetic materials. And if that soul says yes, then they will start a hybrid program because that will allow them to live on the planet generation after generation even more. But to study us because we are so different than any of the other races because of our dualistic nature
Yeah.
is for them to really study us is to become us,
Oh.
right? So
Oh, that's
it's
crazy.
a whole nother thing, and there's so many different hybrid races. So one of the hypotheses is when the earth shifts and
Mm-hmm.
moves over, all of the positive races have been creating hybrids that are part galactic and part earth, so
Mm-hmm.
that when they get set back down upon the earth,
Mm-hmm.
then they will have cosmic teachers, and then this is how the consciousness uh, is would be fully going into fully conscious at that point. So we know that there's all kinds of starseed programs, consciousness raising programs with star seeds, because we know, and you know for sure, from the 70s till now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have made a giant spiritual leap,
Right.
right?
Huge. Huge.
Huge,
But
huge. And
but what are some of the Nords? Is it what are they called, the Nords?
well, the Nordics
Or Nordic?
are the
Am I right?
very, yeah. The Nordics are very tall, beings. They originated in the Lyra system,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the first ones. They were tall giants, right? And a
Like
lot of them were
Lemurian,
Nordic. What's that?
like the lost Lemurians. Lemurians.
No, they well, I don't know who the Lost Lemurians,
Oh,
what they
okay,
look like, but
okay, so they're just big.
they're tall and they look like they were from Norway or Sweden,
Ah.
right? So anyway, way in the beginning, the reptilians
Mm-hmm.
found their worlds and went there, and they wanted to start raping and pillaging their worlds for resources. And
Mm-hmm.
then there became a war, and some of their
Oh.
planets were destroyed.
Oh.
And then those Lyrans went out and they settled into the Pleiades, into
Mm-hmm.
Vega, into they started seeding the rest of the universe. And so like the Pleiadians also look
Mm-hmm.
very tall and Nordic, but here's the thing, just like us on Earth and all of the different skin colors up there,
Mm-hmm.
they're all mating. So there's like every race now is a plethora of beautiful colors,
Yeah,
right?
I always make the joke that the racists down here, when they finally meet them, are going to have a big problem. Oh, you're
Right,
pink. Oh,
right,
you're
right. That's
pink.
right.
You know,
That's right.
I have so many things I want to ask you. I want to ask about how they communicate, but because the Perseverance rover landed on Mars, I
Mhm.
mean, though, is that like baby steps for what these terrestrials? I mean, did anyone live on Mars? Do you know anything about that in their past?
Well, it was either the Clermers or the Koldas beings. They talked about being on Mars before, and
Uh-huh.
that it was warring and that they destroyed the world, right? And so
Oh,
then they went back out, and I can't remember which. It was either one of those two races, and so but from what I understand is all of the planets are populated on the interior of their
uh-huh.
worlds,
Right,
right? Like here we have a whole Agarthan network, and its capital is beneath Mount Shasta, where the ancient Lemurians are.
right,
And the ancient Lemurians and Atlanteans are spread out through the Agarthan network, as
right,
well as other beings coming and going and visiting.
right.
So
Yeah, I had an
yeah.
experience there that I've talked about several times on my show where the car flew up in the air. I'll tell you about it. I
Oh my
talked about it
God.
so many. Oh, it was real. It was the
Wow.
car literally flew up in the air, and when it landed, when I opened the door, I would have gone off a cliff. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I kind of think that they were okay with me there. I think the person that I was with is who they didn't want to have there.
There. Right. Right. Yeah.
Because, it was supposed to be a ski mountain, and they started to build a road on the side of it, and then they just stopped.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some power there going on. I mean,
Yes.
definitely some power. So do you think that the riverbed, or wherever they landed, the lake where Mars, the Perseverance landed, they must find fossils or something eventually there, don't you think?
Well, they would find a whole lot of things that we would never find out about. And just like all of the astronauts have said, even when they went to the moon and they went somewhere else,
Uh-huh.
they did see beings in other craft watching them in the
They
skies
did.
and on the actual planet.
They did.
They did, yes, and they were monitoring them, and so the good beings out there in the universe are really monitoring us because we're still a warring planet, and we're going out into their territory now. So they don't want these things happening, especially when the atomic bomb started in
Oh,
47. This
wow.
is this is when all of the extraterrestrial activity began. The story that I did of Valiant Thor, he came in 57 to
Mhm.
talk about these things as well. George Van Tassel was visited by a Venusian in the early 50s named Salganda, who came to talk to him about those things.
You guys, that's the Integratron I always talk about.
That's right, the
Craig and I are
Integratron.
both really good friends with the Integratron people.
Yes, we love them. I love, oh my God, I love it there. So, and by the way, I just did an artist rendering of Salganda because nobody's ever known what he looked like. So,
I'd love to see it.
yeah, when I was there with the sisters,
great.
he was coming through very strongly and showing images and the whole thing. So
amazing.
yeah, so I took the giant leap and had him done up. So it'll be in my next book.
In your next book.
In my next
God,
book.
I can't wait to have a sneak preview to see that.
Yeah.
And do you think that they have healing utensils like lasers or things to get rid of COVID-19? I think they do.
They have everything known to man. Some of them can do it with their thoughts. Some of them on some ships, it's sort of like a giant clamshell. You lay in the clamshell, and the lid comes down, and there's these different alternating tubes of light, like blue and green. It reads your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your mental, everything under the sun. And then what it does is it goes in and it corrects everything and puts you back to normal. There are other races that will go, and if your body is in disease, and they do this for star seeds, by the way, they'll bring them up on a craft, and then what they'll do is they'll go back to a time when they were younger. They'll take an imprint of their soul body, and they'll bring that imprint back and set it into their body, and it'll anchor, and then that will also correct everything. So there's so many different ways, and they have all different kinds of the most amazing healing tools you've ever seen, and all of the different races have different types.
Wow. I'm trying to get some of the comments on Facebook, and I can't get on my Facebook to see what, for some reason, I'm going to have to turn my phone off and put it back on. But okay, so in essence, they really do have, like, I was always told that the future healing medicine is electromagnetic energy, period. You know, it's you know, it's just crazy.
Lots of them do it with sound. I myself have experienced what I call a sound wave when I was a kid, and another time where I knew that I felt very sick, and I had gone to Sedona with a famous celebrity, by the way.
Can you tell us who?
I can't, because this celebrity experienced it, and it was kind of rough. Because we were in adjoining rooms, and what happens is it sounds like an earthquake in the room with all this roiling of energies, and but it sounds like everything is falling and clanking and breaking, but nothing does. And then it settles down. But then what happens is like in that experience, all of a sudden I went from being down and just feeling like there was something wrong with me and I didn't know what, to being pure in thought and happiness. And I'm not kidding. Somebody could have walked up to me with a gun for the first 6 months, and I would have went, "I love you," and I would just take that gun right out of their hand.
It's like a drug.
It's like the most amazing thing ever, and it happened to me also when I was a kid.
Wow.
And then this one time, so my friend who was in the other room was very frightened and just cowered in bed, and called me in the morning and said, "Oh my God, oh thank God you're there. I swear they came and took you last night." because all my friends know this side of me, so they're always worried that they're going to come and take me and not bring me back. Say, no, you have to come live with us.
Can you stay longer? Because I want to take some phone calls, and I also have another question to ask you. Can you stay longer?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Okay, good. How do they communicate? Through thought, through...
Yes. So there is different races have different things, but the most common one is through telepathy. Now you have to remember, when you're fully conscious,
right,
you are working with your heart, works with your mind. When you're dualistic, your mind and your ego rule everything, right? So when your heart rules your mind, then if you and I were fully conscious and telepathic, I would be talking to you in your head and telling you a story. But what I would do is I would transfer my feeling body into your body, so you could experience what I'm telling you in full, vivid, living color and every aspect, the way that I experienced it. And you would spiritually grow from it because you just had the experience.
That's like the movie Cocoon, the old movie Cocoon.
Yeah, right. A little bit. So, and other races communicate through symbols. Some, oh my God, some do the light language. I've met several people here who speak the light language. One of my artists in the book speaks several different extraterrestrial languages, and I'm making the book into a documentary now. And she's going to also be speaking some of these other languages in the documentary.
I was going to tell you that I have a feeling this is going to get on video somewhere.
Yes.
I have a really good feeling about it for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
And then what about verbal language? Is there like...
There's verbal languages. For instance, the Regalians, which are they're not they look like lizard humans. In the trailer, there was one with the guy that kind of looked like a lizard, right? They're actually a nice race. And what they did is they brought a 14-year-old Cherokee girl from the Indian reservation on board craft, and they hooked her up to a neurotransmitter, and they hooked up to one, and they actually had a telepathic communication, and they explained everything about who they were, what they were doing, and showed her around the craft. And because they hooked her up, when they put her back, she was able to remember everything in full, vivid memory. So when people, like, for instance, read that section of Regalians, you could go to the back of the book and find out, oh, that was from this book. So if I want to know more, I can go and get that book, and it tells me where I can get that book, so I could read all about it.
Tell us how to get this book again, because we're going to tell people a couple times so they...
Sure. So to get autographed copies from me, and I personalize them, you go to autobiography of anet.com, and then in the upper little bar it says other books. Click on other books, and then it's right there. Yeah. Then you can click on that. And then I personalize them and sign them to you. So
say because a lot of people listen to this on audio only. Could you tell us again?
Yeah, autobiography of anet.com, and then you click on other books, and that's where the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac is. It's also on Amazon. And it's soft cover. They have an audio book, an audio CD, and Kindle.
So exciting. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and then let's take some callers. Let's see if people are interested. You guys call the number on the screen. Tony, do you have the number up? You do. And let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and take some callers, your questions about the extraterrestrials.
Hey, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions.
That's so
People
fun.
have been calling the office and texting and emailing. Do I do private sessions? Well, yes, I do. And I love reading for my clients. I do phone, Skype, FaceTime, and in person if we're in the same city. I also teach intuition. So if you have an interest in doing that, or if you're interested in getting your family together and you want a group reading, I do those as well. So just call 248-909-2427, and I look forward to reading for you. Thanks.
Okay, we are back with Craig Campobasso. I am so thrilled to have you here. Tony, do we have any questions about extraterrestrials?
Most of them are readings, but I
People
guess
want readings, okay.
we could pull in, see maybe they've had an extraterrestrial experience.
Yeah.
All
Has
right.
anyone? Yeah, I forgot to ask people if they've had extraterrestrial experiences, but let's see if anybody calls in.
All right, here we go. I don't know the name, but it's an 845.
Okay, good evening. Hello?
845,
Wow.
you there?
Did we lose somebody?
Maybe they got abducted.
All
All right, well, let's try the next one. So 864. So let's put them back into the waiting room.
Okay.
864, you there?
Hello?
I am here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're
Good.
Thank you. Did you have a question for Craig Campobasso about UFOs? Or
I
extraterrestrials?
don't. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a question. I just actually tuned in.
Oh,
And so I wasn't even sure what the topic was about, but I knew I was around people and I tune in every Friday, and so
well,
but
thank you.
I
I
just
so
tuned in, so I
appreciate
didn't
it.
know.
I suppose you
You're
would like
welcome.
a short reading, right?
Yeah, if possible, that'll be great.
Okay, so just be, Craig, just bear with me here because I'm going to try to get questions for the extraterrestrials, but
Okay.
okay. So just be open-minded about everybody living and deceased, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm, I usually get initials and then names. And is there somebody that's an M or A initial connected with you?
Yes.
Is that a female
Um,
or male? I'm not sure which.
Both.
Okay. Is the M a female?
Yes.
And is she spelled M-A,
Yes.
like Mary or Margaret or Marie?
Marie.
And who is this?
That's my sister. That's her middle name.
Okay. Is she living, your sister?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And who had the health issue? Did she have a health issue recently?
No, she did not.
Or did you?
No, I didn't. My other sister did.
Your other
Or does.
Is your other sister living?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Did they fix it? I feel like she's going to be okay. Did they fix it?
Yeah, she's gonna be okay. She's scheduled to go into surgery on Monday.
Yeah, I feel like she's going to be all right. And the A person, is the A a male?
Yes.
Is it spelled A-N or A-L?
A-N.
Like Anthony or Andrew?
Anthony. Mm-hmm.
And who is that?
I have two. I have my nephew and my father.
Is your father deceased?
He is. Mm-hmm.
I feel like his spirit's around you. And I feel
Great.
like you can tell your sister that he's going to watch over her. And I don't know.
Awesome.
I don't know if you've been worried lately about money. Have you been worried about money?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he's saying it's all going to work out. Anthony says it's all going to work out.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I
you're
appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a wonderful evening.
You
You
do the same.
too.
All the best to you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Pleasure. Okay, Tony, do we have anybody else that it's asking about extraterrestrials? I would be like, so I would want to, do you know, Craig, somebody said, Char, you should have an episode on ketamine and the spiritual journey it takes you on. What's ketamine? Do you know that?
I've never even heard that
I've
that
never heard
word
of it either.
before. Yeah.
Okay, I've got Iman Singh says, I swear I'm a hybrid.
Lots of people. Do you want me to explain a little bit about hybrids?
Yeah, I want you to explain about hybrids. And also, she just said gray ones are good. That's not true.
There's good and there's bad. It's just
There's good and bad.
every race, there's good and bad and neutral. And the one thing that we all have to remember is to judge the individual and not the race.
Oh,
So yeah,
you know, that's just
absolutely.
like here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
like here. Wait,
Yeah.
I want to know about hybrids, but I just want to give out the telephone number because someone just asked for the number.
Sure.
And it's 323-524-2599, 323-524-2599.
There
Okay.
we go.
Because some
All
people
right.
can't see it and they're listening to it. So
Right.
what is a hybrid?
So hybrids can come about many different ways. I have met and talked with several hybrids, and I spoke to 2 specific hybrids for the sections in the book here because they were a hybrid of that civilization. So, so interestingly enough, what happens is when a star seed comes and they're going to incarnate, usually what they'll do is when the embryo and the sperm have joined together, that they will inject other DNA into that, which also makes a hybrid. Now, so, you know, and here's the thing, and this is, I would love to ask you this and see what you get.
What?
Pharaoh Akhenaten. Out of nowhere, this giant extraterrestrial looking guy in Egypt is Pharaoh, right? And all of a sudden takes all of the gods away and goes to the thinking of one God.
Oh.
Right? So
Oh.
and he was very Syrian. I don't know what that banging and that noise is, but it seems like there's a call there that maybe shouldn't be there.
A what?
Somebody's got a lot of there we go. It's gone. There was a lot of background noise from that call.
Yeah.
So there's that. There was one hybrid that I knew's father worked for the military, and they were in contact with several races. And so what they did is they conjoined his wife's eggs, right?
Oh.
And yes, with 4 different extraterrestrial species DNA.
Wow.
And his sperm, and and she was an amazing woman, and you could tell she was different. Her eyes were different, her fingers were different. Her skin was a little bit different textured, and she was really loved by everyone. She passed on a few years ago. So there, a lot of people can become hybrids from many different ways, and they have many different species in them.
In your book, and I saw in the trailer that it says that if we have carbon in common. Carbon?
No, I never said that.
Oh, what was that? I don't know what I was watching. I thought that was in your thing that
no.
Oh, okay. I must have kept watching somebody else's video.
Somebody else's video afterwards.
I must have. So do the people who are hybrids, are they more highly intelligent?
Yes. Very.
do they have other gifts we don't have, like mental telepathy?
Some do, yes, and it depends on if they work on those gifts, because if they really work on them, then they really develop them, and they become very prolific in them. They can do telekinesis,
Right.
telepathy. They can
Tell people
uh,
what telekinesis is.
telekinesis is moving objects with your mind.
Hmm.
And we've actually seen people levitating, doing things with their mind. A lot of Eastern Indian gurus levitate because they have
Right.
worked for that. There is a thing that's been on a lot of paranormal UFO shows of a young girl about 8 or 9 who's just floating in air, kind of like hovering
Yep.
and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
So
I've experienced, when I first started doing this work. I don't promote seances, but because you never know who's coming in.
right.
But we would have the table fly up in the air. We would have there was a trumpet,
Uh-huh.
a trumpet fly around, and it was crazy. But I'm don't do this at home, you guys, because
Right.
you never know who's going to come in.
No, that's
Man,
right. That's
I learned
right.
the hard way.
Yeah.
So, wow. And so, and is it, when you talk about color and sound, do you think it's similar to like people who've had near-death experiences where they become the color or they become the sound, and it's nothing like they've ever experienced before?
Yes, and that's a great thing. Yeah, because you become the vibration, the very vibration of the universe, because we are all of the enlightened races talk about that we are all that primordial atom.
Hmm.
We are all one and the same, and that's how they believe. That is their belief system.
Hmm.
And so that we are all one, and we are all here to help each other, because if we look at it from the aspect that if we want to look at that and call it God, or if we want to call it source, or we want to call it the universe, then we are that, and we are responsible
We
to
are.
help
And
every single person within our sphere.
and I wrote in my book, The Universe is Calling You, how we are all interconnected. And
That's right.
this was before COVID happened.
Yeah.
And now we're all being tested about wear a mask, be kind
Right.
to each other. People are homeless. I mean, what are
Yes.
we doing as a race to help each other? And I don't know that we're passing with very big flying colors. What do you think?
No, I don't think so either. I mean,
No, I mean, Ted Cruz went on a flight to Mexico while his place was flooding to pieces and people didn't have running water in Texas.
oh, God.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
where are we? Do they think we can save our planet? The terrestrials. I mean, I know you know secrets that you can't say to everybody.
Well, I
I
will
know
just
that about
say
you. I know that about you. I know you.
what I can say is no matter what, this
Mhm,
planet is going into the light. This
mhm.
planet is going to become fully conscious, and it will rejoin with universal society and become a part of it once more. And what is the most beautiful thing about rejoining universal society is all of the lies and deceptions and the rewriting of history and all of that goes away, because now we have access to the library of Akasha, right?
Right.
So
Tell
so
everybody what Akasha records are.
the Akasha records are our soul. Every soul is its own recorder in the universe. It
Mhm.
records and is stored into the library of Akasha.
Right.
And so for instance, some races will go to the library if they want to study a certain person.
Mhm.
They can go there and they can download that person's lifetime onto a coin. And then they could go play that coin in a theater and watch the pivotal parts of what they need to see,
Wow.
right? So can you imagine going back through our history and
Ah.
watching all of the different, huge people
Yep.
who made an impact on this and on us here on Earth in a good positive way,
Wow.
and that kind of thing. So it's really fascinating. So the good news is this planet, no matter what anybody tells you,
Yep.
it is going into the light, and you
I'm
know that too.
I know that, and I'm
You
so
know that.
excited that you're bringing that information
Yeah,
to us, because we
right.
all need hope right now, and we all need
That's
faith.
right. That's right.
And our hope and our faith are being tested.
It
So,
is, and there was this. I read this on a card somewhere a long, long time ago, and this is what made me think about it. And it was like I saw this poor homeless person sitting on the street, down and out,
mhm.
and I was so angry at God for
Oh,
letting this person be this way,
mhm.
until I realized that I was God and I should be helping that person.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's pretty profound right there.
That's
Now,
profound.
there is parameters to that, because if it is somebody who has a whole mess of entities on them,
Right.
right, that you kind of don't want to go there, because you can't battle that.
Right.
But because I've seen that on streets before, they're just crawling all over people, and I tried to do a little empathetic
Healing.
work, and
Good.
they knew it, and
You did
verbally attacked me.
exorcisms. You did
Yeah,
exorcisms.
they verbally attacked me in a
Oh,
whole lot of weird voices and a whole lot of crazy uh, words that we won't say here. So,
wow. Well,
but yeah,
you are one of God's secret messengers, and I know you're here
yes,
to heal and to help. And
that's right, that's right.
I'm so grateful that you came on the show today and promoted your new book. And will you come back again, because
I will, and I'll make sure you get your book, because they should have sent it to you. So,
I need
uh,
I would really love to see
yeah,
those photos and see and
yeah.
read the book. Tell us how to get that book again.
Sure, you go to autobiography of an ANET.com, and then click in the tab Other Books, and that's where you can purchase that book. On the homepage, you can purchase my Autobiography of an Extraterrestrial Saga book series. It's there as well. And then I just had another book come out
Oh,
called The Silence of the Hams. It was a movie I cast 25 years ago. They re-released it on Blu-ray, and we did a
amazing.
whole documentary and everything in it. So I did a companion book of all my photos, because I hired every famous comedian known to man, from Mel
Amazing.
Brooks to Dom DeLuise to Phyllis Diller,
That's
Billy Zane, everybody and their mother. So I did a very fun book, and that's also on under the
and
other
people, you need
books.
to know that Craig is a very, very well-known casting director as well.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
um,
So
so I can't wait to see this on video. I think you're on your way to doing something with this. And
yes, yes.
thank thank you so much for all the optimism and healing and positive thoughts. And take
Thank
good care of
you.
yourself. And I'm
I
sending you all
will.
kinds of positive, good energy.
I will. I love you.
I love you too.
All
Thank you
right,
so much.
Angel. We'll see you again soon.
Okay, I can't wait.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Be well. Bye bye. Keep your faith.